What if the most important worlds in our solar system aren't planets at all? What if I told you there's a moon with a thick, toxic atmosphere and rivers of liquid methane? A tiny world spraying a hidden, salty ocean directly into space. Or another, so violently shattered and rebuilt, it looks like a cosmic Frankenstein's monster. These are the moons of the outer solar system, and their stories are more bizarre than we ever imagined. Our first episode dealt with the familiar, a world born from a cataclysmic collision. We witnessed the stark fate of captured asteroids orbiting Mars. We then plunged into the realm of giants and found a world of relentless fire and a sister moon hiding an impossible secret ocean beneath a shell of ice. But what lies beyond the grasp of Jupiter, in the vast, cold emptiness of the outer solar system? Here, the rules change. Here, we find moons that challenge our very definition of what a world can be. Our great cosmic tour now enters its final leg. We journey to the deep frontier. For centuries, Saturn was just a jewel in a telescope, a planet defined by its impossible rings. To early astronomers, it was a distant, silent monarch of the night sky. But they soon discovered this king was not alone. In 1655, the Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens pointed his telescope at Saturn and spotted a tiny companion, a single point of light he would name Lunar Saturni. This tiny companion would eventually be known as Titan. A few years later, the Italian astronomer Giovanni Cassini found 4 more, each a faint speck huddled close to the giant planet. For the next 300 years, that was the family portrait. A planet, its magnificent rings, and a handful of icy companions. But when our probing missions of the 20th and 21st centuries finally arrived, they shattered that quiet portrait forever. They revealed that Saturn doesn't have a handful of moons. As of our latest count, it has 274. This is a system of breathtaking scale and diversity. It begins with tiny moonlets, barely a kilometer across, embedded within the rings themselves, acting as shepherds, sculpting the ice around them. It extends out to the giants, worlds larger than planets, and then further still, to swarms of captured asteroids and comets in distant, looping orbits, ghostly prisoners of Saturn's immense gravity. 274 worlds, each with its own story and its own secrets. But to begin to understand the true wonder of this system, we must return to that very first discovery, the giant. The one that would change everything we thought we knew about where life could exist. We begin with Titan, a moon larger than the planet Mercury. The story of its birth is likely as grand as its scale. The leading theory is that Titan was not captured, but born right here. It formed from a vast, swirling disk of gas and dust that surrounded Saturn in its infancy, a miniature solar system in the making. Over millions of years, ice and rock in this disk clumped together, steadily growing into the giant we see today. It is a true child of Saturn. And as we approach, we encounter its single most defining feature. Titan is the only moon in our entire solar system wrapped in a thick, dense atmosphere. For years, what lay beneath this smog was a complete mystery. Unlocking its secrets required one of the most ambitious missions ever conceived. The idea began in the 1980s, a joint endeavor between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Italian Space Agency. It was a project of immense scale and patience. After years of development, on October 15, 1997, the Cassini-Huygens spacecraft launched from Cape Canaveral, beginning a 7-year journey to the outer solar system. Its purpose was not just to visit, but to stay, to become a part of the Saturnian system and conduct an in-depth, long-term study of the entire kingdom. Cassini's objectives were vast: to analyze the planet's stormy atmosphere, to understand the dynamic, complex structure of its rings, and to characterize the geology and composition of its many, many moons. For 13 years, this robotic explorer would orbit Saturn, transforming our understanding. But for Titan, it had a secret weapon, a lander provided by the European Space Agency called Huygens. In 2005, after its long journey, Huygens plunged into the haze. For 2.5 hours, it fell through the nitrogen-rich smog. What would it find? A solid surface? An ocean of liquid? No one knew for sure. When the clouds parted, Huygens transmitted images that were both alien and eerily familiar. It had landed in what looked like a damp riverbed, surrounded by stones, made not of rock, but of solid water ice, frozen at minus 180 degrees Celsius. Using radar that could pierce the clouds, Cassini mapped the surface and confirmed the unbelievable. Titan has lakes, rivers, and seas. But this is not a world of water. On Titan, the rivers are filled with liquid methane and ethane. The mountains are sculpted from solid water ice, hard as granite. It rains gasoline from an orange sky. It is a twisted reflection of Earth. A complete hydrologic cycle, but with materials straight out of a science fiction novel. This atmosphere, rich in methane and nitrogen, is being bombarded by sunlight, creating a thick smog of complex organic chemicals called tholins. This is prebiotic chemistry on a planetary scale. It's too cold for life as we know it, but Titan is a planetary laboratory. It's like having a sample of the primordial Earth, perfectly preserved in a deep freeze. The question Titan poses is not, is there life here now? But, is this how life begins? For all its potential, Titan holds its secrets close. To find active liquid water, we had to look somewhere completely unexpected. Not to a giant moon, but to one of Saturn's smallest and brightest. The tiny, ice-white world of Enceladus. Its origins are a profound puzzle. Was this tiny world born in the same disk as its giant sibling Titan, a leftover from the system's initial formation? Or is its story more violent? Some scientists theorize that Enceladus could be the child of a cataclysm. A second-generation moon formed from the debris of a collision that shattered a larger, forgotten world billions of years ago. Its very existence is a cosmic mystery. As Cassini approached the small moon, scientists expected to find a quiet, frozen, dead world. Instead, what the satellite saw was shocking. Startling geysers erupting from the moon's south pole, spraying vast jets of ice and water vapor directly into space. This was cryovolcanism, ice volcanoes, on a scale no one thought possible. The discovery was so profound, the Cassini mission was redesigned. The craft was sent swooping directly through the plumes, and its instruments confirmed the source, a vast, global ocean of liquid salt water hiding beneath the ice. The tidal squeeze from Saturn's immense gravity keeps the core warm and the water from freezing solid. But Cassini found more than just water. It found salt, proving the ocean is in contact with a rocky core. It found microscopic grains of silica, evidence of hydrothermal vents on the sea floor. And most importantly, it found complex organic molecules. All the ingredients for life as we know it, liquid water, a source of energy, and organic chemistry, are being ejected into space, just waiting for us to sample them. This is our strongest link to the search for life that we started our journey with. Yet, the wonders of Saturn's kingdom don't stop there. The gas giant commands a court of at least 274 moons, a gallery of cosmic oddities that defies easy explanation. We start with Mimas. At first glance, it appears to be a battered relic, scarred by the colossal Herschel crater, giving it an uncanny resemblance to a science fiction battle station. The crater was named after William Herschel, one of the great astronomers of the 18th century. He discovered this moon, along with Enceladus, and most importantly, Uranus itself. For decades, it was dismissed as a dead, frozen artifact, but recent analysis of Cassini's data has revealed a stunning secret. The moon's slight wobble strongly suggests the presence of a vast liquid water ocean hiding just 20 to 30 kilometers beneath its cratered shell. Mimas is a stealth ocean world, masquerading as a simple lump of ice. Then, there is Iapetus, the yin and yang moon. Its surface is painted in a baffling contrast. One hemisphere as bright as snow, the other as dark as tar. Scientists believe this is the result of a runaway cycle, where dark material from space settles on its surface, absorbing heat and causing the underlying ice to turn to vapor, which then frosts the opposite side. Stranger still, the moon is girdled by a colossal mountain range along its equator, a 12-mile-high Great Wall of ice whose origins remain one of the system's greatest unsolved mysteries. As Saturn's grandeur recedes, we cross a new threshold of solitude. We follow the path of our sole visitor to this distant realm, Voyager 2. Everything we know about this system up close Every image and discovery comes from a single, brief flyby in 1986. We are seeing what Voyager saw. A lonely ghost light, a pale ice giant journeying through the deep dark. This is Uranus. And as we draw close, it becomes clear it is a world that has turned its back on the rest of the solar system. Every other major planet in our solar system spins like a top as it orbits the sun. But Uranus is a top that has been knocked over. It lies on its side, with its poles pointed where the equator should be, rotating at an almost 98-degree angle to its orbit. The reason for this profound misalignment is believed to be a wound from a past trauma. Billions of years ago, during the chaotic formation of the solar system, it's thought that a wandering protoplanet, perhaps the size of Earth, delivered a glancing blow of unimaginable violence. This great cataclysm may be what tipped the entire world over. The moons of Uranus were either born from the debris of this collision, or were dragged along into their new, strange orientation. They don't circle their planet horizontally, but orbit it like a giant Ferris wheel. And this system has another peculiarity, a touch of human art in the deep dark. Unlike all the other moons in the solar system, named for gods and myths, these are the literary moons. They are drawn from the works of William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. Names like Titania and Oberon, Ariel, Umbriel, and Miranda. It is a family of tragic and magical characters, a fitting choice for such a dramatic system. This drama is a long, drawn-out story. Orbiting the sun once every 84 years, it experiences extreme seasons. For 21 years, a pole on Uranus and its moons faces the constant, unrelenting gaze of the distant sun. A summer's day that lasts for 2 decades. This is followed by a winter of equal length. 21 years of absolute darkness and unimaginable cold. This shared trauma has forged a family of dark, strange worlds. And one of them wears the scars of that violent past more clearly than any other. This is Miranda. Named for the daughter of Prospero in Shakespeare's The Tempest, Miranda was the last moon of Uranus to be discovered, when she was observed in telescopic photos in 1948. When the Voyager 2 spacecraft flew up close to the moon in 1986, closer than any object it had encountered thus far, what scientists saw shocked them. Miranda is not a world. It is a scrapbook of worlds, a cosmic jigsaw puzzle whose pieces have been jammed together all wrong. It is the Frankenstein moon. Its surface is dominated by features seen nowhere else, called coronae. These are vast, trapezoidal regions of parallel ridges and valleys, etched into the surface with an almost artificial-looking precision. They look less like natural geology and more like cosmic scars, as if a giant claw scraped its way across the moon. But the most extreme feature on this tortured world is a single cliff, known as the Verona Rupees. It is the tallest, sheerest cliff face known to exist in the solar system. It stands at least 5 kilometers and perhaps as high as 20 kilometers tall. A precipice more than 10 times deeper than the Earth's Grand Canyon. Due to its height and Miranda's weak gravity, a fall from the top would last more than 10 minutes. A slow, silent descent into darkness. The sight of this jumbled world begs the question, what happened here? The first most dramatic theory was that Miranda met with a catastrophe. That a colossal impact shattered the moon to its very core. And what we see today is the result of those pieces, haphazardly falling back together, preserving the evidence of its own destruction. But another, perhaps more likely theory, suggests the violence came not from without, but from within. It posits that massive upwellings of warm, buoyant ice from Miranda's interior pushed upwards on the surface. These plumes would have stretched, cracked, and resurfaced huge areas of the crust, creating the bizarre coronae in a process of extreme cryotectonics. Whether it is a world reassembled from its own broken fragments, or a world torn apart by its own internal energy, the result is the same. Miranda is the ultimate example of the violent history of this sideways kingdom, a small moon that stands as a monument to chaos. But Miranda is not alone. It is the innermost of 5 major moons. Our first reconnaissance of this family was a game of orbital chance. Voyager 2's trajectory, designed to fling it onwards to Neptune, carried it just 29,000 kilometers from Miranda, giving us a breathtakingly clear view. But its other siblings were seen from much farther away. They remain ghostly portraits from a distant frontier, their secrets protected by distance and darkness. Farthest in, at a flyby distance of 127,000 kilometers, is Ariel, another moon named from the Tempest. Of all Miranda's siblings, it is the brightest, and shows the most evidence of a geologically tormented past. Its surface is fractured by enormous fault systems, creating deep canyons. These valleys appear to have been flooded by icy cryo-lava, oozing up from the interior, creating smooth plains. Ariel hints that even in this cold, dark realm, a moon's internal engine can sputter to life. Next is Umbriel, which Voyager saw from more than twice as far away, a distance of 325,000 kilometers. At this range, our view is a frustrating muddle. It is the great enigma of the system, an ancient world that is uniformly dark, one of the least reflective bodies in the solar system. Why is it so bleak? What erased its geological history? We simply do not know. The only tantalizing clue on this otherwise featureless world is a single bright, shining ring on the floor of a crater called Wanda. We aren't sure what it is. It is thought to be frost deposits linked to an impact crater, but we cannot know for certain. Not until we are ready to send another probe deep into the solar system. Then there is the queen of the Uranian moons, Titania, seen from even farther out at 500,000 kilometers. Titania received its name from another Shakespeare character, the Queen of the Fairies in A Midsummer Night's Dream. As the largest, it bears scars appropriate for its royal status. Though our view is hazy, we can identify enormous canyons like Messina chasmata, that dwarf Earth's Grand Canyon. They are evidence of a past so violent, the moon's entire crust stretched and ripped itself apart. And guarding the edge of the system is Titania's husband, Oberon. Voyager 2 saw this world from over 500,000 kilometers away. A mere sketch. It appears to be the most ancient and heavily cratered, a relic largely unchanged for billions of years. Its mystery lies in what's inside its craters, floors covered in a dark, unknown material. Is it exotic ice, or carbon-rich sludge from the interior that erupted after impact? We simply do not know. 4 worlds, each a chapter in the story of this violent system, but with most of the pages left blank. Our fleeting glimpse from Voyager 2 gave us more questions than answers. Due to the extreme seasons, half of the moon's surfaces were shrouded in complete darkness, giving us only half of the picture. However, if we ever hope to see the full extent of these moons, we will need to send another probe to reach Uranus by 2050 during its equinox, when the system will be bathed in light. The clock is ticking if we are to unlock all of their secrets in our lifetime. Time may be running out to solve the mysteries of Uranus, but our original grand tour must press on. We make one final leap outward, across another 1.5 billion kilometers of silent, empty space. Here, the sun is just a bright star, its warmth almost entirely gone. We have arrived at the final planetary outpost, the last giant of our solar system, Neptune. Neptune is home to 16 known moons, but one of them dominates the system. A world so large and so strange, it presents us with our final great mystery. This is the realm of Triton, and it is a ghost story. To understand why, we must look at how it moves. With very few exceptions, every major moon in the solar system orbits its planet in the same direction that the planet spins. They are born from the same swirling disk and follow the same rules. But Triton is a rebel. It orbits Neptune backwards. This retrograde motion is what gives away its true past. It reveals that Triton is not a true-born child of Neptune. It is an intruder. The evidence overwhelmingly suggests that Triton was not born here, but out in the Kuiper Belt, the vast reservoir of icy bodies at the edge of the solar system. Millions of years ago, perhaps even billions, it wandered too close and was captured by Neptune's gravity. The event would have been cataclysmic, destroying any original moons Neptune possessed. Triton is a captured world from a distant realm, a ghost haunting a system it helped destroy. The violence of its past has given way to a deep, frozen calm. This is one of the coldest places in the solar system, but it is not dead. As Voyager 2 swept past, it saw one of the most unexpected sights of its entire journey. Geysers. Not of hot water, but of cold nitrogen frost. Driven by faint seasonal heating from the sun, pockets of nitrogen ice beneath the surface turn to gas, build up pressure, and erupt, shooting dark organic material kilometers high. It is a form of cryovolcanism unique to this strange, captured world. And its surface holds other mysteries. Huge regions of Triton are covered in what scientists call cantaloupe terrain, a wrinkled, pitted landscape seen nowhere else. Its origin is still debated, but it points to a complex geological history of upwelling ice and tectonic shifts. A captured world with a violent past. A world of nitrogen geysers and terrain that defies explanation. Triton was, for decades, our only up-close look at a large object from the far outskirts of the solar system. It is a visitor from the darkness, a lonely outpost that marks the end of our tour of the great moons. But the beginning of a new set of questions about the vast, unexplored territory that lies beyond. Because the story doesn't truly end at Neptune. Beyond it lies the third great zone of our solar system, the Kuiper Belt. The original home of Triton and a realm of countless dwarf planets and icy relics. And here, we find that the relationship between planet and moon can be even more intimate. In 2015, our New Horizons spacecraft gave us our next glimpse of a Kuiper Belt native. The king of this realm, Pluto, and its giant moon, Charon. Charon is so close in size to Pluto, more than half its diameter, that they don't behave like a planet and its satellite. They are a true binary system, a planetary couple locked in a gravitational dance around a common point in empty space. Charon itself proved to be a complex world, with vast canyons and a strange reddish pole, reminding us that even in the deepest freeze of the solar system, moons hold incredible surprises. Hundreds of worlds, each with a story. From our own moon, born of cataclysm, to the moons of Mars, doomed to one day be destroyed. From the fires of Io to the ice of Europa. From the thick air of Titan to the sideways kingdom of Uranus and the ghostly plains of Triton. We have taken a grand tour of our solar system's moons and found they are not just points of light. They are destinations. We have learned that these worlds are richer and more dynamic than we ever dreamed. That the building blocks for life, liquid water, organic chemicals, and energy are not rare. They are everywhere, hidden in dark oceans and sprayed into space from tiny, unassuming moons. They are histories, and some, perhaps, are harbors. The age of discovery is far from over. It is just the beginning. As we speak, a new generation of explorers are being built. The next great mission to the outer moons is Dragonfly, a nuclear-powered, car-sized drone destined for the hazy skies of Titan. Scheduled to launch in July 2028, it will not be confined to one landing spot. It will fly through Titan's atmosphere, from one region to the next, sampling the surface and searching for the chemical signatures of life. We have found that our solar system is not just a collection of planets. It is an archipelago of countless worlds. each one a testament to the endless creativity of the cosmos. As we send our new explorers to the mists of Titan and beyond, we know that the greatest discoveries are still to come. The moons are calling, and humanity, as always, is destined